Today I want to talk about gestures of support and encouragement that I've made to women and some men and have made them uncomfortable.
What the four women who have spoken out recently, including Lucy Flores, a former Nevada state legislator, have said is that they were uncomfortable when Biden either hugged them, kissed them, or touched them inappropriately.
In my career, I've always tried to make a human connection. That's my responsibility, I think. I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this.
Very unexpectedly and out of nowhere, I feel Joe Biden put his hands on my shoulders, get up very close to me from behind, lean in, smell my hair, and then plant a slow kiss on the top of my head.
When we were standing there, he came over and he just slid his hands behind my neck and pulled me close. And I was thinking, I had, 10 minutes of thoughts in 2 seconds, because I was thinking, is he going to kiss me? What is he doing?
As the photographer was taking the shot or getting ready to take the shot, I felt, and my husband noticed, that Mr. Biden's hand that had been on my shoulder slowly disappeared and did a slow descent down my back.
But anyway, I think it's legitimate, and I think it is, but I don't think anyone's ever said that I invaded their space in a way that was designed to do something other than making them feel uncomfortable, but not anything having to do with harassment or anything else.
Right. It was shocking because you don't expect that kind of intimate behavior. You don't expect that kind of intimacy from someone so powerful and someone who you just have no relationship whatsoever to touch you and to feel you and to be so close to you in that way.
In all honesty, I was shocked. That wasn't something I had anticipated that the Vice President of the United States would do.
And our noses touched, and then he rubbed noses with me for 10 seconds, 15 seconds. He was saying something to me, I don't remember what. And yeah, it was uncomfortable. It was a little weird.
This was very weird, and it made me feel very uncomfortable, and he needs to stop doing this.
I think that it's important for the Vice President and others to understand is it isn't what you intended, it's how it was received.
Right, they have said that, but they have also said we'd like an apology.
Well, look, I'm really sorry if what I did in talking to them, trying to console, that in fact they took it a different way. And it's my responsibility to make sure that I bend over backwards to try to understand how not to do that.
So to say I'm sorry that you were offended is not an apology.
It wasn't actually an apology,
right, if
you listen closely.
I just can't imagine that there was never a situation where someone said to him, Vice President, Mr. Vice President, you probably should stop doing that. You should probably stop touching women in that way. You should probably keep your hands to yourself.
And so that's my dad's notion. It's on us. It's on all of us to speak up. It's on us to engage. It's on us to, and I don't expect, I go on the campuses and I say, the freshman year, you're in a fraternity, you see a brother taking a young woman who's inebriated up the steps. If you don't go over and say, no, not in this house, man, then you're a damn coward. I don't want to hear it. And if the guys that...
If we don't want you to touch us, then don't touch us. If there isn't a personal relationship, if there isn't a history there, if this is inappropriate.
We've got the Secret Service standing right there, and we've got the photographer, and we have other people standing in line, and honestly, I didn't feel like there was a choice in that moment.
And by the way, if the guy's a 300-pound football player, you can still say something. You don't have to intervene and say, whoa. Because, God, look, here's the deal.
We have options. We have options, and I don't feel pressured to stay quiet and just take one for the team the way in which we're always asked to do and never speak out about the things that we believe are wrong.
Right now, the Me Too movement has happened. We all know now that we agree that this behavior is not acceptable, and we have to stand up, and it has to end now. It has to be a zero tolerance, in my opinion, going forward.
And DJ, as you know, he has a lot of defenders who say, you know, his style is just one of exuberant affection that can get a little physical at times, but no harm, or sexual nuance is intended.
And whether they're women.
Come on, sis, you get right in the middle with me. You get right over here, over this. Mom, you get right in the middle. Come on, Dad. Okay, here you go.
Men.
Come on, this can hurt your reputation, man.
Young.
What are you seeing?
Let's get a picture. Old. Whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been. It's the way I've tried to show I care about them and I'm listening.
I want you next to me. I want you next to me. How old are you? Just remember, no dates till you're 30. Get over here by me, okay?
And I think that making excuses for, oh, that's just the way he is feeding a rape culture. And I'm not okay with that.
Like you had a beautiful sister, keep the boys away from your sister. That's the job.
It's just, again, it's just a complete lack of accountability.
And I get it. I get it. I hear what they're saying. I understand it.
What I am saying is that it's completely inappropriate, that it does not belong in any kind of a professional setting, much less in politics, and that is something that we should consider when we are talking about the background of a person who is considering running for president.
No, they're just, if you're running for office, we're not grabbing people, we're not kissing them, we're not, hugging them. Just no.
Thank you. All right.
I'd also like to hear him say that he really supports women and that he really stands by women, and then show that by not running and throwing his weight behind one of the 4 incredible women that we have already in the primary.
Do you think that this is disqualifying for him?
For me, it's disqualifying.
Nancy Pelosi wants you to say, I'm sorry that I invaded your space.
Sorry I invaded your space. I mean, I'm sorry this happened. Yeah. But I'm not sorry in the sense that I think I did anything that was intentionally designed to do anything wrong or be inappropriate.
Frankly, my point was never about his intentions, and they shouldn't be about his intentions. It should be about the women on the receiving end of that behavior. And this isn't the first time, and it wasn't the only incident where he was acting inappropriately with women. If he is saying that he never believed that that was inappropriate, then frankly, I think that's a little bit of a disconnect.
It was inappropriate that I didn't understand, that I assumed. Look, I was, anyway. No man has a right to put his hand on a woman without her knowing consent, period. That's what it means being involved. Anyway, I'm sorry. Hi, Caroline O'Neill. I'm Gene Finnegan's son. Get over here. Good to see you. How are you?
I knew this would happen.
All right. I'll tell you what, man. I may be Irish, but I'm not stupid.
No, you're not stupid.
And so the idea that I can adjust to the fact that personal space is important, more important than it's ever been, is just not thinkable.
I just want you to know I had permission to hug Lonnie. We had permission. I don't know, man. Anyway,
it's just who I am.